Pastor Roy Gerhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, it's time for a Tuesday for Two. On Tuesdays, we always are looking at relationship. But this week, we're also looking at sin. And you may wonder, what has that got to do with relationship? Well, it has everything to do with relationship. You've got to understand that sin always has to do with relationship. It's always in the context of relationship that sin occurs. And you may think, well, wait a minute. Don't people go off by themselves and do things in secret that are sin? Well, of course they do. But you never are able to get away from your relationship with God. Always there's going to be a connection between sin and our relationship with God and with each other. The Bible, when it talks about sin, does so by going to the story. The story of Adam and Eve is where sin begins. And so in this story, if the sin that they commit affects their relationship with God, right away we know that they broke God's command not to eat off of a particular tree. And all of a sudden, they are fearful of God. They want to hide. They want to go find a place that they could crawl under a rock and get away from God because they know that they have messed up that relationship with Him. And at the same time, they have messed up their relationship with each other. All of a sudden, they've become two people who are untrustworthy. They've become keenly aware of the fact that they are naked and they want to cover up their bodies from each other. This thing of sin, you see, affects our relationships. And when the Bible is calling us to live righteously, to do the righteous thing, it's not just saying that here's a rule, keep this kind of behavioral code for your own personal honor and benefit. It's not even saying that we are to do the right thing and know the right thing and say, I've got all the right answers. No, righteous actions are about relationship. You would really be best to explain it as being in right relationship. That's what righteousness is all about. That you treat other people in a right manner, that you live in a right manner with God. So that sin, you see, is all about relationship. And so God's response to sin is also about restoring that relationship. And so that God comes into this world in flesh and blood. The Son of God is Jesus, who is God Almighty in flesh and blood. And so that He lives this perfect life because He's God. He lives it in the flesh because He's a human and He can there die for our sin. This is how Jesus is able to justify us, make amends for us in dying for our sin. And with this, it takes out all of the obstacles to our relationship with God. No more need to run and hide. No more need to try to keep secret some sin that we've committed in the dark. No, we are able to be free of all of that. Be restored in a relationship with God, that we are completely at peace with Him. And at the same time, God produces transformation to our hearts and to our lives to bring forgiveness to life that would restore us in relationship to be righteous in the way that we live with each other. And so sin has its restoration when relationships are made right. May God bless you today. And as you share His good news, may God make you a blessing wherever He takes you.